Hey, welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. On today's show, is Odell Beckham Jr. worth the massive payday the Giants forked over? Plus, Joel Klatt explains why Bama will roll to the national championship again this season. And our football critics sleeping on Dak Prescott. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Odell Beckham Jr. got a whole lot richer yesterday. He reportedly agreed to a 5-year extension for up to $95 million, with $65 million guaranteed. The extension makes him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. Beckham was then seen dancing in the locker room moments after his contract was signed. We're joined by Super Bowl champ James Harrison. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Does Odell deserve this big contract, all the money?
Definitely. I feel like, what they're doing is they're paying the man that's going to be the face of the franchise. They're playing the guy that has produced, in the years that he has been in there when he was healthy. And, right now they're paying him on what they expect him to do in the future. So I definitely feel like, his contract is definitely worth what they gave him. There's some situations where he may not have acted right and on the sidelines in games, but that's just the competitive nature of him. Some celebrations that might have been a little out of hand, but that's just him being excited about what he's doing.
How about that video that got posted in that Paris hotel room?
I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was.
Cosmetics.
Oh, yeah?
That was she was a cosmetic Instagram model. That's
Makeup.
my story. Yeah, makeup.
Is that a job?
Makeup.
Cosmetics, Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah. All kinds
That's real.
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
He's
Okay.
Good look, it was.
I agree with you. And people always ask that question. I'm sure you got, is he such and such? I was like, you're worth what someone's willing to pay.
Definitely.
And you look at his production, his first 3 seasons that he was healthy, 90-plus catches, 1,300-plus yards, at least 10 touchdowns in all 3 years. We had never seen production like that in a very long time. One of the few. The fastest guy to 200 catches in NFL history. So we know he has the production. The question is now, is he going to mature? As you said, James was saying, is he going to now temper the way he behaves on the field? That would happen, and it hadn't happened since, so I have no reason to believe that it will happen again. That would happen with Josh Norman. I believe that was a one-off. That won't happen again. He shouldn't get upset if he doesn't catch the ball. Look, we all want to catch the ball. I'm sure when they dropped you in coverage, you're like, man, look here. Yeah. Let me go get the quarterback. I don't need to be trying to run up no seam with no tight end or going no curl to flat.
Definitely.
Let me get to the quarterback. But guess what? You probably thought about it, you know what? My check's going to look the same whether I get a sack or a deflected pass. So y'all do what y'all need to do. Y'all know what I'm better served at. They know what Odell can do. And it's best if they let him be the first or second option on all the plays. But he can't behave like he has in the past. It's time for him to mature. We can't keep saying, man, Odell's just 22. Man, Odell's just 23 years old. It's time for Odell to be the leader that the Giants are paying him, that they believe he can be. It's time for him to step up to the plate. I believe he will, and I definitely believe he's worth that money.
So now we have two great ex-players, defending a current player who has put up some really big numbers. And the typical response I always get from ex-players is he should get paid, because you want to see your younger brothers get paid, because you're all fighting the man, you're fighting the system, and he got his money. Yep. And I get you. In a vacuum, he's put up extraordinary numbers, but he's also needed a vacuum cleaner to clean up all the messes that he has made, sometimes on the sideline, sometimes on the field, and sometimes in a Paris hotel room. So, could we just see that video one more time? Because I get a kick out of that. Could we just see the Paris
What
hotel
video?
I just want to see it
That's
one
a
more time.
pepperoni pizza.
I just want to see what it looks like. There's pizza,
Pepperoni
there's
pizza.
something. Wait, there's a credit card. There's this thick brown
He had to pay for the
cigarette.
pizza,
I don't
credit
know what
card.
that is. I don't know what
That's a Cuban cigar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cuban cigar.
That's one of the Mohibas, one of the big ones.
Was
Right,
it?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's saying something to her about sleeping with somebody else. I don't know what's going on.
Everybody got to sleep.
That's the face of the franchise. And that only happened 5 months ago, just 5 months ago. And so then what happened? Reportedly, the Giants were so upset, they put Odell Beckham Jr. on the trading block. They shopped him to see if they could get anybody to bite on 2 first rounds. They wanted 2 first rounders
Yeah.
back. And ESPN, the magazine, has just reported that one team was interested enough that it assigned a private investigator to track Odell and make sure whether he could live up to a big contract off the field. And I don't know what became of that, but nothing became of any trade offers because nobody offered 2 first-round picks.
Correct.
So it feels to me like the Giants got stuck in that damned if you do or damned if you don't situation where if you don't pay him, you're going to miss him because he is really good.
Right.
He is really explosive. But if you do pay him, that just happened. And now they just gave $65 million guaranteed to that guy who was in that video in that Paris hotel room. And we don't have time to go back through all the other incidents that you mentioned, the Josh Norman, the kicking net, the boat trip in which he prepared for his first and only playoff game in Lambeau Field by taking the receivers for a Monday in South Beach. And he was pictured on a yacht with Trey Songz and others, basking in the South Beach sun to get ready for a game up on the frozen tundra. It's just not a good
I feel
look.
like they
right?
weighed all that out,
All right.
and they came to the conclusion.
And they said, what do we have here? We have box office, because Odell is the biggest. He is face of the franchise.
No question.
He's rivaling. I don't know. We went back and forth the other day about Aaron Judge. You know, like, is it Aaron Judge or Odell, the biggest star in New York? I don't know. Maybe it's Odell. It's close. But
I would have to give it to Odell.
I would too, because he's bigger than Eli. There was a point when Eli was bigger, but no longer. So Odell, he's better pre-game box office than in-game box office, because he puts on a show. I don't know if you've watched it before the game, circus catches and the warm-ups. People are going early just to see Odell. So he is selling tickets, so to speak.
But he's
just
doing
on
those
his
same
pregame.
type of catches in the game.
Sometimes.
He's producing.
But
he's
can
doing everything that is
stay
guaranteed in
healthy?
that
No.
contract
The
he
Hall of
got.
Famer Shannon Sharpe said early in this show, he's a little frail. He's a little fragile.
The
well,
man broke an
okay.
ankle. He's not fragile.
well,
What he did is he
well, I
came
don't
back
know.
too
He's
early
broken
trying to
some
prove
other
a point, and his ankle wasn't all the way right, and it ended up being an even worse situation.
Can you trust his health going forward? Is he a big, strong Shannon Sharpe of a receiver?
No, but he doesn't have. That's not his game. His game is not predicated on that. His game is predicated on speed and quickness and athleticism.
Okay.
He's what, 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. This is a
Maybe he doesn't even look 190 to me now.
Anytime a man runs into another man at a very high rate of speed, there's a chance something can happen. But Skip, we've seen guys that have done things way, way worse than Odell Beckham get their money. If that's the least that Odell has done, his behavior on the sideline or getting into it. Now look, that's not a good look for what transpired, but I believe that's a thing of the past. I don't believe that's a one-off.
Guess what just happened?
What?
Odell came to OTAs on his best behavior. He came to training camp right on time on his best behavior. And he got 5 years, $90 million, and now you've paid him, and I think you're going to pay for that. No, I don't think he can live up to it. Is he going to suddenly flip a switch and turn into the leader of the New York Football Giants?
He doesn't have to be the leader, but he can be a leader.
Yeah. Definitely.
Who's going to be the leader?
Hey, we'll see. Landon Collins.
Eli?
Well, Eli's always going to be there because he has the senior. He's the quarterback.
He's got Super Bowl.
Right, and he's been there for the long.
He says what? To whom?
Well, he
about
leads
what?
by example.
He leads by example.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to say about
it. Go out there and show. I wasn't a vocal leader.
You were when it was time.
Well, when it got to a situation where I needed to talk,
right?
But I didn't talk that often.
Okay.
So I did a lot of mine just by example, watching.
So I like the other quote in the ESPN The Magazine story from the former coach Ben McAdoo about the catch, the greatest catch in the history of the world when he was a rookie against my Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, a game that, by the way, the Giants lost. If we could see that catch of catches. And Ben McAdoo said that was the worst thing that happened to Odell, was that catch. Because once you do that, all bets are off. You have become the biggest sports celebrity in New York City, in the Big Apple. And pretty soon he had a home in Hollywood, and pretty soon he's touring with Drake, and pretty soon he's more of a celebrity than a football player. And again, the numbers are the numbers. The talent is undeniable. But are you going to trust him now that you give him $65 million guaranteed?
Obviously, they do trust him.
Well,
That's why they gave it to him.
I think they were, like I said, they were stuck. Like, well, we can't trade him for what we think he's
don't
worth.
get stuck and give somebody $65 million.
I don't know. I think they're stuck.
Come on.
Well, who you want to travel? I mean, you all upset about Odell traveling with Drake. Who you want to travel with? Barbara Streisand? Who you want to travel with?
I don't travel.
Tom Jones?
I work.
You want to go with Tom Jones?
Somebody you would love to hang out with.
Usual.
Is that all you got?
Well, who you want to travel with?
I don't want to travel. I don't travel. I work. I do this job. That's a bad analogy. It doesn't work. I don't want to travel with
There's nobody you want to hang out with, have a good time with. You don't have no.
I am obsessed with this because I win every debate and I back both of you guys into a corner. They gave that guy $65 million.
When he goes out there and performs and starts to be that leader that everybody thinks he can be in that organization,
do you realize what usually happens? When you give a guy who has this kind of misbehavior in his background, when you suddenly guarantee him the most money anybody at his position has ever been guaranteed, do you think that suddenly flips a switch in the back of his mind? I just grew up. I'm going to become the leader of the football.
It's not going to happen in one day, but I believe he could do it over time.
Let me ask you a question.
What's history tell you?
Let me ask you a question. What you think about Von Miller now?
Yeah.
What was his past like?
Ooh, come on.
Super Bowl MVP.
Let's go.
He a top 5 player.
Was he a celebrity?
He be right next to Odell. Do you follow him on Instagram?
He became a mature leader of that team long before he became that guy. He grew up early. He grew up after his first couple of years in Denver.
You know he got suspended.
He was going down the wrong road.
Right, and not only did he change, he got up out of the program. He no longer gets tested 10 times a month. He became the leader. They gave him almost $100 million. Von Miller has the seal.
But they gave him after he had matured. They did. Yeah. They did. John Elway wasn't going to do that when he was the bad Von.
The thing was, Skip, that he was young. He was still on that rookie contract. But I'm sure John had some reservations, but he showed him. I believe. Just watch Odell won't be any problem.
Okay.
He's just gonna bust the Cowboys up like he normally does, and you see what happens.
Okay. 5 months ago was that video in that hotel room.
A lot of things have happened in 5 months. Man ordered a pizza. People can't even order pizza no more.
That's it.
That's why
you get a guy to grow up.
That's why I stopped eating pizza.
Yeah, I know. Get him to grow up. Just give him $65 million guaranteed. That's it. It's
they
over.
see the pizza delivery man, they're going to think something shady going on at O'Shea's house.
So you know what's going to happen long term? The Giants will pay for this contract.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, they will. You know how they're going to pay? With division titles.
Just remember I said this.
Okay.
I said it.
Division titles.
Division titles?
Division.
This year?
No, they don't. Skip, he got a 5-year deal extension.
Oh.
So within that time frame, they're going to win.
Okay.
Maybe this year against y'all.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, hey, yeah, you hear James.
We got it definitely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How many cases you want to bet on that?
That between you and him. We already got ours.
We got it?
Yep.
Do you want to bet a case just on the first Giants-Dallas game?
I got a case on that first Dallas-Carolina Panthers game. That's what I got to get. Oh, yeah. We got that. Yes, we got that, Skip.
Scared of that one?
Do you want in on it?
I am scared of that one.
Okay.
I am.
Bets?
Okay, well, that's all I need to hear. I'm good then. You scared.
Yeah.
Get him, Odell. Ow!
Is that a celebration?
That Odell, you said Odell picking the
See that one? He was doing this one right here. That's that 65 dance.
Monday night, radio rocking, Monster Jam.
No mercy. The debate continues on who is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. ESPN put Rodgers #1 on their list of the top 100 players. Despite coming back from a broken collarbone, Brady is second overall, even though he's the reigning MVP. Shannon, did they get it right?
Absolutely, they got it right. Couldn't be more. Skip Bayless, how could they be wrong when they got Rodgers in the #1 slot? How is that possible? No, it's not your turn. Jenny, is it my turn? Did I say anything, Jenny? No.
It's like Shannon's already out of bullets.
No.
Huh?
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, and then it gets reiterated all across, all media. Yes, it does. And you get mad. He's lost. I
haven't said a word, Jenny. Do I look mad?
You've said plenty of words.
I haven't.
I'm
just sitting here calmly.
Can I reclaim my time?
I'm like the opposite of Odell. I'm just calm and collected.
First of all, Skip Bayless, all you do is that when I start talking about Rodgers, you talk about he's only won like 4 playoff games since he won that last Super Bowl.
No, 5.
Is that all-time great to you?
5. He's 5 and 6.
Okay, that's fine.
Do we want to go through who the 5 were?
No.
I will when it's my turn.
I tell you what, let's go through the 5 quarterbacks that they got ranked in front of him on this 100 list.
Oh, okay.
I'll wait. It's your turn now. No, it's not. It's my turn still.
Is that all you got?
No, Skip Bayless. I keep telling you, No, see, the problem that you have is that if someone says someone is better than Brady, they're a Brady hater. They're a Patriots hater. No,
Well, you are, but not everybody.
All I'm saying is, and this is not a lifetime achievement war. And they said this is not about what
this is right here, right now. Yes, sir.
He's 41. My guy is 34. And like you told me, at some point in time, Father Time's going to knock on LeBron James's door. Well, guess what? Who knows? He might have just pulled up in a pickup truck getting ready to knock on Tom Brady's door.
Really?
Father Time, they say he drive a pickup, old beat-up pickup truck. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so he about to pull up in old
He's been knocking on Aaron's door the last couple of years.
No, he has stopped.
Has he not become injury-prone?
Skip,
Aaron, he's going, Aaron, come here.
The man broke his collarbone. Okay? You make it seem like he broke his collarbone.
Second time.
Okay.
That's Tony Romo syndrome. You know what's going to happen.
Don't you
better
ever,
stay safe in that pocket. You better not get outside.
Mention Tony Romo and Aaron Rodgers in the same breath again.
They both.
I don't think there's nothing. No, Skip, stop it. Look, I get it. Tom Brady is 5-time Super Bowl. He just won the MVP.
We don't care about past. We care about present.
Right. And so guess what? I've been telling you this all along. So I guess all these others, 100. How does 100 people get it wrong?
100?
100. How many people they got over there voting?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's just say 10. How can 10 people get it wrong?
I don't know.
Aaron, Skip, you know this. He's the most gifted thrower of the football that we've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of guys throw the football up close and personal. Dan Marino, I thought was the best guy I've ever seen throw the football, Skip. But when I saw this young man spin the ball in the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I watched what he can do with his leg, because he can.
Long time ago. Now you're going into ancient history.
Did it happen?
I thought we were doing current.
Did it happen?
Ancient history.
It
happened one time 10 years ago.
All I'm saying.
10 years ago?
All I'm saying is that he can do things with the football that Tom can't do.
See, that's like you saying guys can lift the whole weight room, but they can't play football. Who cares if you can throw it hard and spin it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you got to be able to spin it. You got to be able to spin it.
Yeah, so can you perform?
But in 2018, at 34 years of age, they believe, I believe, most believe that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. Not at 41 years old, because like you said,
tell me when it's my turn.
I will tell you that, but it's not just yet.
Jenny, is it my turn?
No, it's not. You told me to tell you when it's your turn. I haven't told you yet. So with that being said, at some point in time, Father Time will knock on Tom's door. 34-year-old, that's a ways away. Aaron Rodgers is the best player he's the best quarterback.
Really?
He's the top of the 100 players that they rated. Number 12 in the green and gold is numero uno.
Okay. Finished?
In other words, I think in Japanese they say ichiba.
So now we have to go in Japanese because we don't have any ammo. So we
Aaron Rodgers is
Japanese.
ichiba.
How about what is it in French?
Ichiba.
Huh? What is it in Chinese? How about Bulgarian? Let's go, because that's all you got is a bunch of other languages to say the same baloney you keep saying over and over again.
Okay, make your case why Tom Brady should be number one.
So, Mr. Sharpe,
you can't mention Super Bowls. You can't mention Super Bowls. You got to mention right now.
Did I even speak yet?
Yeah, because I already know what you're going to do.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What am I going to say right now? Tell me.
I do not want to hear anything about
Read my mind and tell me what I'm going to say right now.
He came back. He played the 3 best fourth quarters in NFL history.
No, I'm not saying that, Jenny. So, Shannon Sharpe, what do you always tell me? Players know more than writers or
Yeah, they do.
broadcasters.
Sometimes.
Right? Players know everything, right?
Sometimes.
Because players should vote for who's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep, sometimes.
That's what Terrell Owens says. The players should vote, right? Those stupid sports writers, they don't know a thing, right? So, once again, the NFL.com did their players-only voting for their list of top 100 players. Just came out here last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Comes out annually about this time of year. It's interesting. The players-only voting, they say that Tom Brady is the best player in the league, and they say Aaron Rodgers is the 10th best player in the league. How do you explain that, Mr. Sharpe?
I can explain that by missing 12 games last year with a broken collarbone.
Oh, really? So
And
that
how
did
you
it?
would explain it?
I don't think I would explain that way at all. I think they're just saying, who's better, Tom Brady or Aaron
Stop
Rodgers?
it, Skip. You know that's not the case. The man broke his collarbone and missed, 10 games, 12 games?
Dropped him to 10th?
Yeah. It normally drops you in the 30s or the 40s. But he's so great, they couldn't put him outside the top 10.
That is such baloney. You know, this argument gets sillier and sillier to me because All ESPN is saying that Aaron Rodgers is cooler and hipper, and he's the more entertaining quarterback. He's the more spectacular. He's more SportsCenter highlight-driven quarterback. I give you all that. If you want to talk beauty pageant, he wins the beauty pageant. But if we want to talk about performing, it's not even close. So let me ask you this, Mr. Sharpe. You know a lot about football, or so they say. I don't know. But so right now, the New England Patriots are favored to win this coming Super Bowl, this year's Super Bowl.
Yes.
It's extraordinary to me because I can make a strong case that their roster right now from top to bottom is not better than Green Bay's roster. And we don't have time to take it blow by blow, but I can make a strong case Green Bay has more talent on its roster than New England has on its roster. And I could definitely make a case that Aaron Rodgers' receivers are better as a group than Tom Brady's receivers, right?
I'll give you that, yeah.
So, given all that, man, how is it that Green Bay is clear down there the 6th best in odds right now? And New England is first best. Why would that be? Well, you could say it's the coach, but I don't think it's just the coach. I think it's far more about the quarterback, because Vegas looks at that quarterback and they say, we ain't betting against that guy.
Right.
Because every time we do, he sticks it right back in our face. Because last year, when you least expected it, that quarterback, 40 going on 41, he won the regular season MVP. And then when you least expected it, with 12 stitches in the base of his thumb on his throwing hand against Jacksonville, the hottest defense in pro football, Saxonville. It's fourth quarter, down 20-10. Tom Brady throws for 138 on the Saxonville defense. That's just impossibly great. And they come back from 20-10 to win that AFC Championship game in Foxborough and get to yet another Super Bowl, during which he throws for an all-time playoff record 505 yards, does the now 41-year-old quarterback. So Vegas is saying, we give up, man. We still say he's the odds-on favorite to win it all this year. Why is that? Because he's better than Aaron Rodgers. He's more valuable. He's a better performer. He's a better leader. He has more impact than Aaron Rodgers does. Beauty contest, I'll give you that one if that's what you want. In a vacuum, SportsCenter highlights, I'll give you that. But if you want to talk about on-the-field impact, most valuable, come on, Aaron Rodgers isn't in Tom Brady's league.
Skip, it's hard. When you're talking about Tom Brady, it's really, really hard not to get sucked into the narrative that he's 40-plus years of age. And
I don't care how old he is. He just won the MVP. It doesn't matter.
You just said it. He just won. You said that.
Okay, but it just doesn't matter.
But you said he won it at 40.
I'm just saying people keep trying to write him off.
No.
And he plays the best football of his whole career at age 40.
And I get all that. But if I'm not mistaken, they said they didn't factor in last year's Super Bowl. They didn't factor in the previous 7 Super Bowls. They didn't factor in. They said in 2018, the person the best player they believe, top 100 players, they believe it's Aaron Rodgers. So they didn't factor in.
So why didn't they factor in injury last year? So they just ignore injury, or
because
what?
he's healthy now.
Oh, he's healthy now. Well, why didn't the players who know that Aaron Rodgers is healthy now, the players voted him 10th best
But they
player.
they were voting.
Players don't know?
They were voting during the season.
Oh,
it
no,
just
they
comes.
weren't.
Yeah, they do.
No,
They vote during the season. It comes out in the off season.
It does not. It comes out in it's voted on in the off season. Stop it.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. How they gonna get all these players together in the offseason?
They just do. They just contact them through the teams. But the votes are taken in the offseason. They're not taken during the season.
Yes, they are taken during the season.
That's baloney.
No, it's not. Skip.
They're taken during OTAs or whenever they convene as a team. Want to bet? Yes, sir. Want to bet? These are taken last year. That's even bigger baloney than Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady.
They're taken during the season.
It is not.
Yes, they are, Skip.
Oh, so each year they take them for the next year? They do not.
So hold on, Skip. No, they will vote. They will vote during the season. The best, like towards the end of the season, who's the best player in 2018.
No, they don't. Not during the year. Okay. They might vote who's the best during 2017. I don't know. Somebody probably does that poll. I don't know that. That's not how this one's done. This is in the off season. It's going into the 2018 season.
And normally who wins? The player that won the MVP. That normally is the player that's voted the best.
Well, that would be a start, right? That would be something.
I mean, because J.J. Watt 1 year was Defensive Player of the Year, and he finished second. So that's how it votes. That's how it goes, Skip.
And you liked it because you thought J.J. Watt was better than Tom Brady at that point. You thought he's the best player in all of pro football. Remember?
I think.
See, even you think J.J. Watt's better than Tom Brady.
I said I thought J.J. Watt was more dominant at what he did than Tom Brady was at what he did.
That's interesting. But Tom Brady's position is way more valuable than J.J. Watt's position.
But remember, they said they didn't base it on value.
Oh, okay.
Because if you just base it on value, of course.
So now I'm forced to go back to not ancient history, but just fairly recent history, because Aaron Rodgers is 5-6 in the postseason since the only Super Bowl he played in. He did win that, although Polamalu couldn't run and Ryan Clark just couldn't run.
Whoa. Why do you do that? But you don't mention Richard Sherman had a torn elbow ligament. Earl Thomas was playing with a torn labrum.
Okay.
And Cam Chancellor had a sprained MCL.
All right, I'll give you that
And
one.
both cornerbacks, one got hurt, was limp. He got hurt, left the game. His backup comes in, tears his ACL, breaks his leg. He's out of the game. So now all those
Tom
injuries.
Brady threw for 124 in the fourth quarter.
Against that banged-up
the Legion
secondary.
of Boom.
Against that banged-up secondary.
124.
Banged up.
It's extraordinary.
And Darrell Bevel was on their squad. Oh, how much did they pay Darrell Bevel to make that call?
Before I was so rudely interrupted, Jenny, I was about to say that Aaron Rodgers has won only 5 playoff games since that Super Bowl. Well, no, I just got to refresh everybody's memory. He beat Joe Webb, the immortal Joe Webb. Where is he now? Isn't he a backup receiver somewhere or something? I don't know what he is. Joe Webb, he beat Kirk Cousins. I love Kirk Cousins. Not. And then he beat the Cowboys, who were robbed by the Dez catch, which was a catch. That was the last catch Dez ever made in his career.
He beat the Cowboys twice. He loved beating the Cowboys.
And then Aaron Rodgers beat those boat trip Giants thanks to Odell's big drop on third down in that first Eli drive. And then Aaron Rodgers survived by the grace of God and the grace of Mason Crossbar, who hit late field goals from 56 and 51 yards, and both of them looked like they were misses off his foot.
Good to me.
They did not
look
look
good. As soon as he hit left his foot, I was like, oh, yeah, that's
the
good.
game winner hooked dead left. And I don't know, hand of God, it moved back just within the left upright. I've never seen anything like that. When you hook a ball on a golf course, it just stays hooked. I don't know how it went through, but it went through. That's what it took to save Aaron Rodgers' legacy, or he could have been even worse. Those are his 5 wins.
So what credit does Vinatieri get for saving Tom Brady's legacy?
Well, those went right through the middle to me.
But he did kick him. Tom Brady didn't kick him, and Tom Brady didn't lead him to the end zone. So what credit does Adam?
Were they 50 plus? Nope.
49?
Not 50 plus. 51 and 56?
Yeah.
56.
49. So now you're going to haggle over a yard or two.
That's 7 yards that I'm haggling over.
No, not all of them.
Well, 49 was the longest.
Let me ask you a question. What about the divisional game against the Raiders when he kicked the 48-yarder in a driving windstorm and you couldn't see, you could barely see? So how much credit does he get for that, for saving his legacy?
It was great. It was great. More important, the Raiders got robbed that day. I wrote it. I was sitting right there in the press box in the snow, and I wrote it. Yeah. You know, it was a snow job.
So Vinatieri on 3 occasions have saved Tom Brady's bacon.
No, Tom Brady set him up all 3 times by completing 6 or 7 straight
Aaron
passes.
Rodgers set him up.
He did not from 56.
Skip, you saw that when he
from 51, he set him up with a pitch and catch because my team was in a prevent, and Byron Jones just got lost as he is wont to do. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm in a playoff game.
We were in Houston.
Am I in Jerry World?
Drew Brees said only Aaron Rodgers could have made that throw, and you still talk about it.
That's what they all say. No, it's pitch and catch. It's pitch and catch. I could have made that throw.
Okay, you could have made that throw. Okay.
No mercy. Well, ESPN's list of the top 100 NFL players was released yesterday, and it included 14 quarterbacks, but Dak Prescott is not one of them. Sorry, Skip. Among the guys they put ahead of Dak were Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins, yes, Kirk Cousins, and his NFC East rival Carson Wentz was even put in the top 20, but I still want to get Shannon's opinion first. Should Dak be on the list?
It's always Shannon.
Hey, baby.
Gotta let you warm up here.
Yeah, baby, they got 14 quarterbacks on this list. Dak ain't one. You know what I'm saying? You know how Jay-Z said he got 99 problems? He got 14 problems, Skip. Dak one of them. I tried to tell you, Skip Bayless, every time we talk about the Cowboys and somebody come out here, you mention Shannon gave Dak an F. Shannon gave Dak an F. Yeah, I gave him an F. Sure did.
Now you feel empowered, emboldened.
No, that's not me, Skip. I'm not one to gloat. Why would I do that?
You are the ultimate.
Why would I do that?
You know, because it's all you got.
First of all, last year he was 77, Skip, but he's down. Completion percentage, down 5%. Yards per attempt, down 1.2 yards. And he tripled his INT rate, and he threw 1 for your touchdown. So what he did by having the type of year that he had last year is he reinforced what I knew to be true all along, that Zeke Elliott is the engine of this car.
Really?
Now, if you think about it, Skip Bayless, I want you to let this sink in for just a second. You know who else isn't on that list, Jen? But that ain't none of my business. Old number 50. Somebody told me he the best middle linebacker in the league. He ain't even on this list, but that's neither here nor there.
He missed 6 games last year.
Whoa!
What'd you tell me about Aaron Rodgers? How does it go? That's the syndrome, right? If you get hurt, you drop.
My guy Aaron Rodgers missed like 12 games, and he number 1. So they theory just blew that.
No, he fell all the way to 10.
No. Not on this list. No. Okay. We talking about this list, Skip Bayless. Stick right here. Stay with me.
So the logic only applies to the ESPN list.
Skip. Okay. All I'm saying, so let me get this straight. Zeke is on the list. 3 offensive linemen's on the list. The quarterback's not on the list. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the only thing that was missing from that last year for 6 games was Zeke. They still had those offensive linemen, and they still had Dak. That was Dak's opportunity. And I told you, I say, we're going to find out a lot more about Dak Prescott this year than we ever learned about him last year because everything was perfect. And I told you, what did they say about Job, Skip? They say, the devil told him, say, God, if you remove that hedge from around him, he will curse his very maker. See, they removed the hedge, which is Zeke Elliott. They removed that from Dak Prescott. And what did he do, Skip?
I'm not sure you told that story right, but I'll let you have it. Go ahead.
What did he do? What did he do, Skip? Dak, what did he do?
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn. I'm asking you.
Is this a rhetorical question?
Yes. I want you to tell me.
Jenny, is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn yet. I'm asking you, when he had those 3 offensive linemen and he had Dak Prescott was there, Zeke was gone for 6 games. I want you to tell me, why didn't Dak deliver the Cowboys? You said he's that guy. He's better than Carson Wentz. He's better than this quarterback. Even Alex Smith. Check down. Alex is on the list. 14 quarterbacks, Skip. 14. There's only 32 starters. I've been trying to tell you he's middle of the pack right now. He gets an opportunity to move up.
Oh, you're afraid now.
No,
you're trying to cover your bets.
No.
Hedge.
No.
Hedge, asterisk. He could get better this year.
He could.
Because you know he's going to get a lot better.
But let me ask you a question. Where is he right now? Hey, Jenny, by this afternoon, I could be in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But where am I right now? Sitting across the desk from old Skip.
You're about to get smoked again?
Skip, I say that hurt. Skip, I know it hurt because when I saw this list, I said, man, I feel bad for Skip. I don't want him to have to see this. And I did everything I could. I told Healy, I told Sean, I said, do not let Skip see this list until the morning. Because if he has to sleep on it, he's not going to sleep well.
So nice.
And oh, lo and behold, they said, well, I'm sorry. He pulled it up. He the one told us about it. So I'm sorry, Skip. I am so sorry.
Tell me when.
It's your turn.
Thank you. I told them about it because I wanted to do a whole topic about it because this is going to drive Dak Prescott to even greater heights than the last 2 years when he finished, I don't know how, but he finished 3rd in QBR. That's in the whole NFL 2 years ago as a rookie in place of the great Tony Romo. Then last year, he got an F from Shannon Sharpe as he plummeted all the way in QBR for the whole year, all 16 games, to 4th in the NFL. How do you do that? I love QBR because it encompasses all aspects, all facets of playing quarterback. Legs, arm, degree of difficulty, moments in game. It's the whole thing. And he finished 4th in the NFL in QBR last year. So I'm going to remind you that 1 year ago today, the new NFL.com list was out, and it's voted on by who? Strictly the players, the Shannon Sharpes. So the Shannon Sharpes, the Hall of Fame-bound players, you know, all the people who really know the game of football are the players. That's what I've always been told. I don't believe that, but whatever.
I'm in the media now, so.
Okay, you're in the media now. But the top 100 list on NFL.com just 1 year ago today had Dak Prescott 14th in the NFL. That's pretty great for 1 year, rookie quarterback. He ranked 14th in the top 100 just 1 year ago, and now you're telling me he's out of the top 100 off just last year?
Hold on. So let me get it straight. So in 2017, he was 21st in yards passed per game. He was 20th in yards per attempt. He's tied for 18th in touchdown interception ratio and 13th in completion percentage.
Yeah. Nobody could remember one word you just
said.
Yeah.
So how Skip?
I think it's my turn, Jenny, because the ball just got handed to me and I just got rudely interrupted.
You just asked me a question.
Hijacked. Because you knew I had you on the run. So, what happened last year, Shannon Sharpe? Dak Prescott didn't just have 99 problems. He had 199 problems that he faced. And it went all year long. Everything that could have gone wrong to my Cowboys last year went wrong, and Dak Prescott still managed to go 9-7. That's pretty great given what happened, because I'm going to remind you, he had Ezekiel Elliott for the 2 crucial turning point games of the year. Game number 4 and game number 5 were both at Jerry World. The first one was against the LA Rams. They have a good defense.
Yeah,
they have a really good defense, right? And Dak Prescott lit them up, especially in the first half. He was rolling, and they're up 24-16 at halftime. And then what happens in the second half?
I don't know. Tell me what happened.
They get outscored 19-6 because there's no Sean Lee. He's out for 6 crucial games. This is turning point. And Rams controlled the ball, they controlled the clock, and they controlled the scoreboard, and Dak lost. Even though he had a QBR of 78 that game, it's hard, man. Remember, it's 0 to 100, and when you have a 78, that means you played really well at quarterback. Next week, Aaron Rodgers visits. And what does my guy Dak Prescott do? Once again, he throws 3 more touchdown passes, and he had 1 interception because he hit T-Will, who was T-Won't. He hit him right in the hands, and it went right through his hands.
Threw it too hard.
Yeah, threw it too hard. I think he hit him right in the hands, that extremely catchable ball, and it is pick-sixed in the second half of that game, which Dallas led 21-12 at halftime because Dak Prescott was on his way to a 97 QBR. Okay. He outplayed Aaron Rodgers again. This is game number 5, and they lead 21-12 at halftime, and there's no Sean Lee in the second half, and Aaron Rodgers has his way. And they win the second half 23-10, and all of a sudden my Cowboys lose back-to-back home games. If they win those 2, because the quarterback played well enough to win both of them, they would have been 4-1, and you would have been eating some crow over there. But they lost both of them because they didn't have the driving force, the quarterback, the heart and soul of their defense, Sean Lee.
But you still can't explain to me.
Okay, here's what I'll keep explaining what happened. Then the next turning point game comes the first game without Ezekiel Elliott, and who is not at left tackle in Atlanta? Tyron Smith. He's the best left tackle in football. And what does Adrian Claiborne do in that game? He makes a bunch of money from the New England Patriots because he's just all over. Dak Prescott has to wear him like a second jersey the whole game. He gets sacked 6 times from his blind side. He's got no shot in that game because there's no left tackle. Chaz Green, they don't have a backup left tackle. So then, right on cue, down the stretch, what happens to Dez Bryant? Well, the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe tells me Dez Bryant has turned into a broken-down shell of himself. He can't run routes, he can't separate, and worst of all, he can't catch. He is leading the NFL in drops, and he has become the all-time ultimate liability for a young quarterback whose progressions, whose reads keep taking him to 88. He's single covered, throw it to 88. 88 is a disaster, and he turns the quarterback into mostly a disaster down the stretch in those games because he just can't play anymore. We're going to talk about Dez in just a second. And obviously, there's no Ezekiel Elliott. So when you add all that up, what can you do? How can you save the season? And you plummet all the way to 4th in QBR? That's spectacularly great. That's way better than bouncing out of the top 100, but I'll give you that because the chip on Dak's shoulder just grew like boulder size.
But you still haven't explained to me, against the Rams, they were up 24. I think they were up, what?
Ball control. They didn't have the ball.
But what about the 6 points in the second half? Well, so they did score 6 points, so that means they did have the ball. Now, but it doesn't matter.
19-6.
What do you do with the ball when you have it, Skip?
Well, why wasn't the QBR like 30? It was 78. It's because he kept firing. He kept doing good things.
At my restaurant,
and that's
Skip,
with Zeke. Those games, I got Zeke both games.
Jenny, I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find a storefront for my restaurant. I don't really serve. I'm thinking about adding Diet Mountain Dew because I'm about to win about 40 cases of it. Start having
You're down 11. You better start doing something.
But wins and losses. Yeah. See, you high on QBR. I'm higher on wins and losses.
Okay. So last year, Cole Beasley goes from 75 catches when Dak was a rookie to 36 catches. He becomes no factor. And Jason Witten last year started looking like the statue that one day might be outside of Jerry World in honor of Jason Witten.
Oh, so now
it looked like he already turned into the statue.
Now you're taking shots at Jason Witten.
No, I'm just saying that I'm repeating what you told me. Right?
I didn't say he was a statue.
And what did Stephen Jones say? Not only was Dez in Dak's ear, so was Jason Witten. Could he separate? Could he get open?
Well, you should blame Scott Linehan for the Atlanta situation.
Okay.
Because you either have a bag to chip or you put the tight end over there.
Thank you.
That's
They
not
didn't. All right.
But Dak, Skip,
Good.
his numbers, all of his numbers went down.
Yeah.
How do you think?
I love this. Drop him out of the top 200. Make him 300.
No.
Make him like LeBron-esque. LeBron was 308th in defense.
Oh, but how you get LeBron?
I don't know. Let's call Dak 308th best player in the league.
No, we don't need to
take
do that.
He'll be equal to LeBron on defense.
I just like this top 100. I just like.
How
the top
about that?
100. I just like the top 100. Yeah. I think they got it
Look
right.
at that. Dak's not in the top 100, but LeBron's not in the top 300 in defense?
No Jared Goff, no Mariota. I mean, guys that really should be on this list. They're not on there. They're not complaining.
No mercy. You know, Dez Bryant is probably sitting at home watching Undisputed right now. Hey, Dez, because he is still not on a team. The Patriots seemingly need a receiver, and Tom Brady said Dez is a, quote, hell of a player, but also said he doesn't tell the front office who to sign. The Jaguars also need a receiver after Marquise Lee's injury, but Doug Marrone said his team is comfortable with who they have. Right now, the Browns are the favorite to sign Dez, just ahead of New England and Jacksonville. Shannon, where will Dez be on opening day?
On his couch. Before I go any further, Jen, Tom Brady won't tell him who to sign, but he'll sure tell him who to get rid of, huh? But that ain't none of my business, though, Skip Bayless.
Who?
Yeah, you know who.
I don't know who.
Jimmy G.
Oh.
Well,
he didn't tell him to get rid of him. He just said, I'm staying. I'm going to be here till I'm 45.
He told him to trade him. You know what he said, Skip Bayless. But Dez is going to be on his couch. Because here's the thing, Skip. Dez Bryant is a vested player. If he's on the opening day roster, his salary is fully guaranteed. Teams will want to mitigate that. He had an opportunity to be on an opening day roster, which was the Baltimore Ravens. Once he turned that down, then I was like, Dez is going to be an injury signing. Somebody's receiver get hurt, they sign Dez. But they want to mitigate those circumstances, Skip. Because he, as I said, he's a vested player. He's on the opening day roster. That salary is fully guaranteed. Nah, if I get Dez Bryant, I'm going to want to mitigate some of that, Skip. I'm going to like, nah, this thing ain't working out. I'm going to go, it's a week-to-week deal. It's a temp service. Week to week. You play well, we keep you. You don't, nah, we're going to go and get somebody else those reps. That's what it appears to me, Skip Bayless. I don't see how now, nobody's going to play, none of the starters are going to play in the preseason. Why would you bring him in now? Mitigate that. Make sure you know, hey, I got to cover my back because there's a good chance. All these teams are past, Skip. I mean, Buffalo needs some receivers. But there's like, we have two big, slow receivers with him and Benjamin.
Yep.
Nah, we don't need that up in here. Heard Cleveland had something on the table, but was it then or was it once the season starts after game one? So therefore, that salary isn't fully guaranteed. That's what I'm thinking. So I say opening day, Dez Bryant will be doing what Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe will be doing, watching Sunday football.
You know, I got to make this clear again. I don't hate Dez Bryant. In fact, personally, I kind of like him. He can be a little crazy sometimes, but I do like him. But I didn't like him as a player last year. And I was quick to jump off that bandwagon after that debacle in Denver, game number 2. So this is strictly business with me. But now the personal starts to creep back in. This is getting pretty sad, man. I mean, he went from the cover of Rolling Stone after he got his big deal 2014 to couch to maybe gone for good. Is that possible? Dez Bryant's gone for good? Wow. So what just happened was Jerry Jones does still have 3 Super Bowl trophies in his office. And he cut Dez Bryant. And I was shocked by that. I think the league was shocked by that. But he cut him.
Right.
Flat out cut him. And then we think Bill Belichick, who has 5 Super Bowl trophies, we're pretty sure he said thanks but no thanks, right? He didn't even kick the tires as far as we know.
Right.
And then Tom Coughlin, who has 2 Super Bowl trophies, he's got a glaring need. I mean, they just lost Marquise Lee, man. Like, wouldn't that be a fit for them?
But that being Tom Coughlin there, Skip, that
Tom
seems
Coughlin?
like the least likely fit to me.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you. So there are all those Super Bowl trophies. That's 3 + 2 + 5. So that's, man, 10 Super Bowl trophies. Just said no to Dez Bryant, right? As far as we know. And that's why I'm pretty sure he's going to be sitting on his couch on opening Sunday. Now, will some team get so desperate by week 4 or 5 or somewhere in there where they're just decimated and they say, we got no choice, we got to take a shot with him? Maybe. But did he do himself any favors here in the last few weeks when he would go on these Twitter stream of consciousness rants, and it was like a guy breaking down on public display. You know, like he's suffering a meltdown right there for everyone to view in real time. What? And then there's something about Cleveland. I got to get right first. Right what? Right mentally? Right physically? Are you still banged up?
And then he shows up, Skip, and he's hugging everybody like he signed the deal. He was just going to sign the paper because he's going around meeting everybody.
Right.
I don't know. That's not normal. Now, I've taken a few visits. I didn't meet everybody like that, Skip.
No. And I thought there was going to be the big reveal at the end of that episode of Hard Knocks where he's talking to Hugh and they're inking, man. They're signing that bottom line.
Yeah, where's his Odell picture? You know, Odell signed the contract. I'm looking to see Dez.
Yeah.
Dez left-handed, so he be.
Yeah. He is left-handed. That's good note. And yet, I still don't get what didn't happen with Cleveland. There'd be reports, there'd be mixed emotions about, well, did he turn down some offer from Cleveland? It wasn't enough money. It was less than $5 million.
Right.
What?
And the thing is, Skip, like I said, I believe that anybody that's going to be interested in signing Dez is going to be interested in signing him after opening day because you don't want to. Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument, he goes out there opening day and he's like, man, Dez just doesn't have it. Now you're still on the hook for what it lets.
No, that's a good point. Yep, I would agree. So I'm looking back at reportedly Baltimore offered, what was it?
3 years, $21 million.
$1 million? Okay, so $7 million. Is that going to go down as the biggest mistake Dez Bryant ever made in his career?
That might be.
Right.
Because that seemed to be the going rate because Jordy Nelson got something very similar.
Yep.
Allen Hurns got $6 million from the Cowboys. It seems to be those guys, that was the kind of money they were going for. I guess Dez thought he was, he was supposed to make, what, $16 million? 12, 16, I guess he was going to be 16 against the cap. I guess he thought, I need to get at least, $10 million. I'm still, nah, bro, it doesn't work like that.
Well, you said it. He thought he was still Dez, and he's really just another Bryant, right?
Yeah.
So, talk about missing the boat. You know Ozzie better than I do, but I know him a little bit, and he is the ultimate last stop. He is the last draw. He is the ultimate reclamation project GM.
Yes.
Where he will take you and make you into the best you can be late in your career. What is he doing with RG3 right now? Robert's starting to look pretty good to me, right? So I don't know exactly what they're doing mentally to him because they needed to get him back, just restore some of his confidence.
And the thing is, Skip, when you go there, it's all them antics and carrying on the sideline, the way they coach it, it's a workman. You bring your hard hat and your lunch pail and your boots and you work there. They're all about work. They're going to let you have fun. They're going to let you be your personality. But all that histrionics and all that stuff on the sideline wasn't going to fly. I don't know what Dez was thinking. Dez keeps saying, well, I want to be on the better. Bruh, those better teams that you want to be on, they're not reaching out to you.
No.
There are very few times. Can you see him with Aaron Rodgers? Because here's the thing. What veteran quarterback would let him talk to them like he talked to Tony Romo or be in his ear like he was for Dak Prescott? Rodgers is not going for that. Drew Brees, those guys ain't putting up with that foolishness.
Tom Brady?
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
So what happened in Cleveland, I think, is that Josh Gordon returned.
Right.
We don't know exactly what went on with that, but he returned.
But he's nursing a little hamstring.
He's got a hamstring, but he's still available, right? He's not going to start week 1, but he is available to play in week 1 depending on his hamstring.
Right.
And how Antonio Callaway is still eligible to play, I don't know, but he is, and he's still listed on the depth chart as a starter. And Jarvis Landry has taken over the team. So do you want Dez Bryant's big, bad personality in your locker room? I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know if that's – here's the thing. I think if Tyrod were to start, Skip, okay, that's possible.
Maybe.
But do you want him – let's just say for the sake of argument, Tyrod only lasts, 3 weeks, 4 weeks as the starter, and then here comes Baker. Do you want Dez in his ear
Well, he could try, and I know. Then Baker would be back in his ear with something, and it would be open warfare.
But it just gets annoying.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
I know it would. No,
bro, give me that. Give me that.
I mean, you got enough to process.
Hey, exactly.
As a kid,
and now I got to worry about, dude. The coverage is not even taking me your direction. You talking about give you a look. Why would I go there when I know this? I believe the coverage is going to be. There's a reason why we're calling this route. Yeah. You're not a major player in this route, and you telling me to give you a look.
Well, we know that Dez is active on social media, and last night he responded to a tweet saying that he has to take care of himself, and I will play ball this year, just might be a little later in the year. We will see. So the wait continues. The wait continues.
No mercy.
We are so excited because the season is finally here. And defending champ Alabama is the favorite to repeat. We still don't know who their quarterback is, but Bama is going for their 6th title in the last decade. Clemson has the 2nd best odds, and they also have a little QB controversy, but they announced yesterday that Kelly Bryant will start on Saturday. And Georgia and Ohio State are also favored to make the playoff. The Buckeyes will obviously be without Urban Meyer to start the season. Yes, Joel Klatt is joining us today, and we are looking forward to traveling this week.
It's finally here. We got a game week.
Finally here.
I love it. You don't look so happy. Is it because I'm here, Shannon?
Can't wait to hear these predictions.
I'm sure.
I think I'm going to hear a lot of Saint Nick here.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Well, I got to start with you, Joel, because you are a special guest. Who is going to win it all? Let's start this off the right way.
It's borderline irresponsible to pick anybody but Alabama at this point.
I knew it.
It really is. I mean, it really is.
Is it just say it's irresponsible?
No. It's borderline. It's getting there. There are a lot of really quality teams. I think Clemson's a great team. Georgia's a great team. I think Ohio State's really talented, and they might even be better this year than they were a year ago. But you have to pick Alabama. It's just where we're at in college football right now. They've got the best roster, they've got the best coach, and their schedule is designed not just to win, but to win championships. The SEC does that for them. They very rarely ever have to play, more than 3 Power 5 opponents on consecutive weeks. And that's the same type of schedule they've got this year. Those 3 opponents are Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. Hardly a murderer's row. They're in the SEC before they get a bye or an FCS opponent. Everything suggests that Alabama is not only going to walk to the playoffs, but be very well rested and well prepared once they're there. So for me, my national champion this year is the Crimson Tide. Alabama.
Shocking and gutsy.
Skip, you know what it's called. It's not the college football playoff. It's the AI, the Alabama Invitational.
It really is.
When you play in the Maui Invitational, no matter how bad Chaminade is, they show up every year, don't you?
Yeah, they do.
You've used that line before.
So St. Nick.
It's as lame as it always
No,
is.
hold on. Think about this, Skip. Lane Kiffin, he goes away. Jeremy Pruitt, he goes away. Brian Daboll, he goes away. Sarkisian, McIlvain, it doesn't matter.
Number 1 recruiting class, number one. What's going to happen?
And who's the man that goes in the house and sits down on mom's or grandma's couch and say, you know what, I coached in the NFL for a long time. Your son is good enough to go play in NFL. I sure would love to help him reach his dream. You know what they say, baby? You need to sign with that man.
That's right.
Yeah, baby, you need to sign with that man. And he got him. He don't make any promises. He's not taking them to Normandy. They're not going to the Vatican. They're not going to any fancy places. All they're going is they're going 90 miles north.
You might give up 40, but you're going to win.
But you're going to win the national championship. You want a ring? Do you want to win?
8 times, 40 plus.
How many Power 5 teams?
That's outrageously bad.
Do you know how many Power 5
Shannon,
teams?
the floor
I want
is
you to
yours.
finish. But he keeps bringing up this stat.
Look, if you want to win an SEC title, you go to Alabama. You want to win a national title, you go to Alabama. If you want to be assured that you're going to go play in the National Football League, you go to Alabama. It's just, Skip, if you want to be a world-renowned surgeon, you probably need to go to the Mayo Clinic, get understudied at the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, Mass General.
Johns Hopkins.
Yeah. You want to get intern to get ready for the NFL? You go to Alabama.
Yeah, you go to Alabama.
Yeah.
So, predictably, both of you took the easy way out, the safe way out, now the internet can't kill me way out. I respect that.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to actually have some guts here. I'm going to take a long shot. I'm going to take the team that plays the toughest schedule in the country this year. I'm going to take 14th ranked Michigan. And you know why I'm going to do it? Because I'm going to put my pride out on the table and have courage of my convictions, because I told you last week, Jim Harbaugh is a better all-around proven head football coach than Nick Saban, because in the NFL, Jim Harbaugh coached Nick Saban under the table with 3 straight NFC championship games and 1 Super Bowl that they should have won and they got robbed in, but we'll save that for later. So this is not going to be easy because obviously Jim Harbaugh turned around San Diego and he turned around Stanford, but he has not yet turned around the University of Michigan. And that is because this is the 4th year and he has not yet had a quarterback. And now he has a real, live, bona fide college quarterback named Shea Patterson, who had moments of brilliance as a former 5-star recruit at Ole Miss, and he got hurt last year, and he's now Michigan's starting quarterback. And I think this is going to be the turnaround year for a team that's pretty loaded, especially on defense. Boy, I like Rashawn Gary. Every time I watch him, I like Devin Bush. I can go on and on about the players I like on defense. And I got to tell you, nobody ever talks about Don Brown, but he's one of the great defensive minds in this country.
I'll back you up on that.
In the last couple of years, they've had the 2nd-ranked defense and then the 3rd-ranked defense under Don Brown.
Who had the number 1 ranked defense?
Well, that's okay.
Oh, say,
hey,
but I'm just saying.
I have a couple of questions.
I'm going to finish.
But I mean, just let me know when you're done, because I've got a couple of questions.
Here's the problem. Michigan, and I'm going way out on a limb here because I think this is going to be the year that he gets it, because I love his coaching staff and I love the talent on the team and I like the quarterback. But they're a 1-point underdog on Saturday night. I think it's 7:30 Eastern on NBC at Notre Dame. They're a 1-point underdog, just a 1 point, but that's a huge game. Could they lose it and still make the playoffs? They certainly could. But they have to play at 11th-ranked Michigan State and at now 5th-ranked Ohio State, and they get 4th-ranked Wisconsin at home and 10th-ranked Penn State at home. That is a killer schedule. That's way harder than Alabama's schedule. But if you get through it and you win the Big Ten,
they'll be in.
Woo,
if that happens,
in.
no doubt. I've got 2 questions for you. Are we competing for the Super Bowl or for the national championship?
Why are you
I'm just asking you a question. Is it Super Bowl or national championship?
Well, on this show, it's mostly Super Bowl.
Okay, but what was the question here?
We don't talk about college.
But what was the question? What was the question here?
You're in the minor leagues. So you're in the.
What was the question?
He like khaki pants.
We're talking about the national championship, not the Super Bowl. So their NFL acumen, quite frankly, does not bring a lot to the table right now, because in college football, Nick Saban has coached Jim Harbaugh under the table, and I'm a Jim Harbaugh defender. Now,
I don't think you are, but go ahead.
I would very much say that I am. Now, you talked about Michigan over Alabama. Do you know how many times Michigan has won their own division since the Big Ten had a title game? How many?
None.
0. Nick Saban's got 5 national championships at Alabama.
He gets to play Vanderbilt.
At Alabama. Plus, you bring up all these 40-point games, okay? You bring up the 8 40-point games since 2007. There's only 4 Power 5 teams that have given up less or fewer 40-point games, okay? It's Wisconsin, Iowa, LSU, and Ohio State. I want to dig a little bit deeper, though, because do you know that Alabama's record in those games is 4-4? They're 500. You might think to yourselves, Shannon, that doesn't seem that good. Well, it's not that good until you dig into the record of those other 4 teams that have given up fewer 40-point games than Alabama. They are 3-19 combined. This guy wins regardless of what style he's got to win. He's won 5 national championships with 4 different coordinator combinations on his staff. He's replaced those coordinators and still gotten the #1 recruiting class in the country. Like I said, I'm going to circle all the way back to the beginning, because now it's no longer borderline. You know what it is? Straight irresponsible to not pick Alabama for the national championship.
I love it.
And you know, a lot of people have confused guts and stupidity, and I think we're at that line right now, because you can't just say, I'm gutsy for saying something that you can't back up.
The cliched live coward instead of the dead hero, is that right?
I would rather
live cowards.
I would rather be beholden to the truth than be beholden.
I just made a pick and I backed it up.
To faith alone.
14th ranked Michigan.
So
I like their chances.
What makes you
I don't think
I
Michigan's
like their
bad.
chances.
I don't think Michigan's bad. Michigan's a great team this year.
Has he had a quarterback? Can you even name one of
Coach
those?
Saban said, what's that?
Yeah.
What's a quarterback?
You know
Coach
what?
Saban said, what's a
It's
quarterback?
interesting
What do you
brought
mean?
that up.
Greg
because-
McElroy, national championship. A.J. McCarron, 2 national championships. Jacob Coker. Who was that?
Yeah.
Shannon?
He took
running
a running
backs
back.
and defense, right? Yeah. Michigan's got both their running backs back from last year.
Well,
And the
I'm
offensive
telling you,
line's all
if
back
you
from
don't
last
make-
year.
You keep making this like a
Interesting.
difference between the two. You can love Michigan and Alabama at the same time, but it's very clear that you would need to pick Alabama in a conversation
Is
between
it?
the two
It's
for a
not
national
clear to me
championship.
because all of a sudden, speaking of quarterback quandaries like the Eagles have, I think Coach Saban has one, and he won't even commit who his starter is because he's trying to juggle the two egos of those two kids right now, and that could cost him. I've seen Coach Saban do bizarre things at quarterback. Like one year at Ole Miss, didn't he start Coker when he hadn't played yet, and they blew that game. Remember Chad Kelly just smoked him. And
You don't mind me asking, Skip? You don't make me forget. You made me forget what I wanted to ask you now.
because I just stomped all over your.
What makes you think that Khaki Pants is going to do what he
He's
hadn't
not
done?
Khaki Pants. His name is Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Khaki Pants, Jim Harbaugh. What makes you think he's going to do what he hadn't been able to do since he's been there? Beat
Quarterback.
Ohio State and Michigan State.
Quarterback.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, quarterback. You haven't had a
we'll see.
quarterback.
Listen,
You
they've
got to have somebody.
They've got a great chance to win that division, and let's
Listen,
crawl before we
I have
walk
watched
and
some of
walk
Shea Patterson.
before we run.
Shea Patterson can move a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a rambling gambler. He's got a little swag to
I'm
him.
a big Michigan guy.
Hey.
I'm just telling you, like,
Jim
before
Harbaugh's
we
gonna
start
have
throwing
to
out
cease and
national
desist.
championship,
He's
can we
gonna-
start talking about, like, let's win the division?
Yeah.
And Jim Harbaugh, he's
Notre
going to have
Dame?
to take his hands from around the quarterback's throat and step back and just let
When has
Shea
he ever done
Patterson
that?
operate.
When has he ever done that?
Pep Hamilton's there. I love Pep Hamilton.
Pep's great.
Yeah. Coach.
By
But
the
I'm
way, guess
asking-
who else is there? Former Alabama offense coordinator Jim
Jim
McElwain.
McElwain is there. They got a coaching staff.
That's what we give. That's what we do.
Well,
You take them you want. They go to the NFL, and you got a pipeline. Go to the NFL.
see, I
and
just
take the
picked the
coaches.
team that plays the toughest schedule in America. Was that not guts?
I think the last team to win the national championship while playing the toughest schedule in America, and this is top of my head, but I believe it was in 1991, University of Colorado.
Oh.
I don't think it's been
should
done
know
since
that.
then.
Were you the quarterback on that team?
That was a little bit before his time.
Yeah, I think Shannon was still in school at that point.
No, I was in Denver then.
You were in Denver already.
Yeah, 90. But
And by the way, since I've now predicted that Michigan will win it all this year,
You gonna be
I
wrong?
might have sped the demise of one Khaki Pants because now, if they don't do it this year, he might be in some big trouble.
no, well,
Why? Why? They're so much better off with him at head coach than
I
they have
agree.
been
I love
before.
but
And by the way, he has
but he
turned
ain't
them
that
around.
guy.
He is.
He's not that guy.
He's a better football coach.
Stop, Skip saying that.
Skip.
And you know
Come
what?
on.
Don Brown's the equal
Okay,
of that guy
I-
on defense.
No.
It's just
Come
too
on.
soon, Skip. I feel like this is irresponsible. I
Come
think
on.
That was a good way
Good,
to
I'll
look at
be
it. Joel, thank you
irresponsible.
for
I love
being
it.
here.
Saban's the best college football coach ever.
Ever?
We can
Yes.
talk more about this all season. I
I'm sure
promise,
we will.
guys. And we're off to
I'm sure we
Oklahoma
will.
today. That's going to be Oklahoma, Florida.
OU
Atlantic on
Saturday,
Fox.
Skip.
I know Skip's watching that one.
No mercy.
Thank you, as always, for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.